There is a technique that can help you identify where institutions want to buy and where do they want to sell. Now, with this technique, you would have gotten into all the major Bitcoin rallies this year. I'm going to show you how to use this technique, leverage it to your advantage on any token and any time frame. I'm going to look into the Bitcoin chart, see where we might head next, and I'm going to make sure that you know how to be on the winning side with the institutions by the end of this video. So my name is Fefe 𝗵𝗍. I'm super excited to be here. You might have met me at school. I'm managing community there, and I'm also a trader. So before I get into the whole content of today's video, I want to tell you one thing. You might have seen the thumbnail and you thought, okay, this guy is telling me Bitcoin might go to 38,000 or 19,000, and that obviously, but here's a very important thing to remember, and that is that trading is a game of probabilities. Now, you should always consider this. Nobody knows where the price is really going to go. What we can do, though, is that we can have theories on different outcomes. So I can say, if we reclaim this level, then we're probably going to go to this level. Or if we break this level, then the probability is that we're going to go to this level. So you as a trader have to identify the high probability outcome trades and take those trades consecutively to be a winning trader. Now let's get into the charts. I want to share with you the secret that I've been talking about. Guys, by the way, hit that like button. I love to see that you are here. I love to see that people are here from the school. Come on, what's up? Let me know in the chat as well. Love to see this. Very exciting. Okay, so what I wanted to show you is the secret sauce that you can use on any time frame and you can use on any token is something called the premium and discount zones. Let me know if you heard about this. This is something called SMC, Smart Money Concepts. This is an essential part of that trading style. Now, the whole purpose of the premium and discount zones is to sell in premium and buy in discount. Now, let me know as well, if you want to buy something, if you want to buy a shoe, do you want to buy it for, premium price or you want to buy it at a discount price? Obviously, you want to buy it at a discount price. And if you want to sell something, you always want to sell it at a premium price. This is exactly what the institutions want to do in the markets as well. So what does that mean? That means that on the chart, you have to mark the levels on each leg and identify the 50% pullback. Now, how do I pull this tool up? It's just a basic Fibonacci. You can put the 0, the 0.5, and the 1 levels on, and you get these 3 beautiful lines, and you see the 50% level. Now, when a price on a certain leg comes back down to the 50% level, you have achieved something called equilibrium, which means that this leg is completed. Markets move in 3 directions, up, down, and sideways. So once you have a push to the upside, then you have a pullback, and then from that pullback, you can break to a new high. Basically, you finish the move. So how do you identify whether this pullback was sufficient is 1, did it come back down to the 50% zone, the discount zone? And 2, did it create a new high from that zone? Now, how powerful this technique is and how powerful this discount and premium zone is, I'm going to show you. If you look at the bull market, this is from 2020, end of 2020. If you pull it from the daily to the top, you will see price coming back down to the 50%. Then you do the exact same from here on the next leg, you pull it to the top and you see price coming back down to the 50%. Then you do it again. You pull it from the bottom to the top, and you see price touching the discount zone, tapping onto some lower time frame demand, and pushing on to new highs. You see the same thing again here. Price goes up and comes back down to the discount. And what happens here is that we break this swing low, which is a great indication for us to see a reversal. And that is exactly what happens. We break this low, price comes back, taps onto some kind of supply, and breaks down. The premium and discount zone works on both directions. So as I said in the beginning, you want to sell in premium and you want to buy in discount. Same thing happens here. If you pull the Fibonacci, this Fibonacci tool from the top to the bottom, you will see price coming back up to the premium, sellers kick in, price gets suppressed down here, and then eventually makes its way up. Now another rally, look at this. So if you pull from here to the top here, you see that 50% comes down, touches, moves on. Then I take the other leg, comes up, takes down the 50% and moves on. So what I wanted to tell you with this is that we are at a very similar point now. I hope you see the point here. We are at a very similar point. This year, what we saw is that Bitcoin pushes up to the top leg. You see, for example, if you pull it here on the first push, did not come back down to the 50%. So you just simply wait and adjust the Fibonacci. You wait for price to come back down to the 50% level. Now, when price pushes back down to the 50% level in March, what happens? Very, very strong push up, very big demand kicking in the discount zone. Institutions wants to buy in the discount zone, kicks in, pushes price higher. What happens on the next leg? The exact same thing. I pull it here for the swing high. Did we see a pullback? No, we did not. No worries. What are we doing as institutions and big money players? We are waiting for the discount price. So we are just waiting. We push the Fibonacci higher. We want to see the PDR rate to come back down, the price to come back to the premium and discount zone. Once it touches the 50% just down at the discount zone, what happens? Price pushes. So now hopefully you see where I'm getting with this is that we are exactly at the level where we have the next push and we do not have the 50% retracement yet. This is what we actually call the equilibrium. So when price comes back down to 50%, you call that equilibrium. Whether it's on the 5-minute, then it's the 5-minute equilibrium. Whether it's in the 15-minute, it's a 15-minute, and then 4-hour daily. This is why I marked it as the daily equilibrium. So I believe the likelihood of I want to talk about why Bitcoin potentially go, or what are the possibilities of Bitcoin going to 38,000 versus going to 19,000. I want to get into the 38,000 first. So why do I see we're going to go to the 38,000 and what levels do we need to break? So first off, what we see here on the 4-hour is that Bitcoin did not achieve the daily equilibrium. So we did not come back to the discount zone, which is worrying for me because, as I said, markets always retrace to the 50%. The reason why I still think that Bitcoin might just start pushing from here, retracing a little bit from this area, this swing high here, and then literally push to 33, then 38,000 is because of the daily equilibrium on the total market cap. Now, this is something very important for you to understand. And also this is something that you can take away from this video. By the way, let me know how do you like this? Let me know how do you like this in the chat. I'm looking at the chat now. I'd love to see how do you enjoy this content. But let's get into it. So the total market cap, this is how the chain goes. DXY, the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓, the dollar index is the dollar strength measured to a bucket of other currencies. So the yen, the euro, the pound, and all that. So the dollar is watched by all the major assets. So if the dollar is strengthening, risk assets such as cryptos are weakening because money flowing from the risky assets into the more traditional investment vehicles. And this way, the total market cap negatively correlates with the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓. And Bitcoin follows the total market cap. So now we know that the total market cap negatively follows the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓, and Bitcoin follows the total market cap. And everything else follows Bitcoin. So why this is important? It is important because if you look at the total market cap, you will see that the total market cap did achieve equilibrium on the daily. It did come back down to the 50%. For those of you who are just joining in, what I'm talking about is the premium and discount zone. And this is a Fibonacci tool that you can just pull by setting the 0, the 5, and the 1 on the Fibonacci, and everything below 50% is discount, good to buy. Anything above is premium, good to sell. So because we got this wick down to the 50% here, this indicates me that the market as a whole, like the total market cap, is ready to move up. Also, not to mention the liquidity that is building up here. We don't have a lot of time to go into everything, but basically this is a trend line liquidity. That means a lot of people place their stop losses on these regions, not necessarily on the total, but on Bitcoin, and that will be taken very fast and very viciously. So the fact that Bitcoin came back down to the 50%, achieved daily equilibrium, tells me that the whole crypto market is ready for the next leg up and potentially kickstart the bull for real this time. So this indicates that we are possibly going up. Here's the thing. If you look at the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓, as I said, the total market cap follows the DXY. So if you look at the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓, what you will see is on the daily, the DXY is basically bleeding down. We had a little bit of push here and there, but it is bleeding from all the way from November 2022. So what we can see is that the DXY will come up and retest the premium zone for the buyers to kick, the sellers to kick in again. So that would mean that we could see the 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗓 pushing up to this 106, 107 region. And if that happens, as I said, as I said, the total market cap is negatively correlated. That would push the total market cap all the way down to this 1.02, 1.03 trillion region. And that would be very devastating for Bitcoin. So looking at the Bitcoin chart, one reason for Bitcoin to go up is because the total market cap did achieve daily equilibrium, and the DXY is actually bearish so far. So until we break this high, the 103, which I'm not sure we will, but if we hold this level here and the DXY starts to reverse, the total market cap did achieve daily equilibrium, and Bitcoin is actually bullish because we made a higher high here. We can easily see Bitcoin pushing up. If that will happen, what you have to look for is you have to look for Bitcoin to start pushing. Let me draw this here for you. These are the daily decision points. DP means decision points. So what you want to do is you want to see this decision point around 30,350 to be taken, broken with a body. So we need a body break above here. And that will be a great indication for us, again, probabilities, that the highest probability and the outcome of Bitcoin going to 38,000 is high. So the highest outcome is that Bitcoin will go to 38,000, 33, and then 38 respectively. So what we have to see is that we see a body break above here. We have to look, if there will be any, for the 50% retracement. We have to look for the 50% retracement and get in on the discount price. There are a lot of things to go into, is fair value gaps, order blocks, but we can't talk about them now. But what you really want to do is you want to take a lower time frame confirmation, which would be a higher high, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, and then an entry to a long, potentially up to this 31,000 region. Again, a 50% pullback, and then 38,000. That's possibly the outcome that I see playing out if the DXY rejects. Now, what happens if the DXY decides to rally and decides to go for the daily equilibrium? Then the total market cap will suffer, and this is the only outcome that I see that could potentially push Bitcoin down. Let's look at that scenario. Do I see Bitcoin going down to 19K? No. Do I see Bitcoin potentially going down to 28,400-ish? Yes. Absolutely. Do I see, because also 28,300 is the daily equilibrium. So Bitcoin can just still do this without the 𝗕𝗓𝗓, with the 𝗕𝗓𝗓 rejecting, Bitcoin still can come down to the discount and then move on from here. Absolutely possible. But what happens if we do not see a reversal and we just bleed down? Well, one of the reasons why I think, other than the DXY, that we are not necessarily going to hold this 25,000 level is because on the weekly, we did not see major liquidity being taken. Now, again, we don't have a lot of time, but I'm going to try to give you most of the offer. Let me know if you like this. Let me know if you get something out of this whole stream. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and do all that stuff. So what you have to see is that you have to take liquidity. So every move, it's not enough that Bitcoin comes back down to the 50% and then moves on. There are certain things that need to happen. One is that from the 50% discount zone, we need to see a high break and liquidity taking. Now, this here, massive orders, stop orders, limit orders that the institutions are hunting. So if we do not take if we cannot break new highs with the body, not a wick, with the body, that means that the move might be false and there might not be enough volume and strength in it to create a momentum to move forward. So in this move from here, from the 19,000 region up to all the way to 31,000, this wasn't a sufficient move. This is great. So this is our strong low now, which means that we are actually going to protect this. Most probably this level will hold no matter what. So, but if you look at this level here, this is another story, because if I pull this to a PD zone up here, we came back down to the discount. We had a decent push. We had a fair value gap. We have a nice order block, but we could not break the swing high. Only wicks, which means just liquidity grabs. It's basically fake outs. So what we see here, that we could not see a clear break as we saw here. And that tells me that there is not enough strength in this order block for us to continue our way up. Now, this is the reason why it is concerning, and potentially we might see Bitcoin breaking this 24,800 region. But even then, if that happens, Bitcoin is still bullish until we hold this 19,385. And now here's the question that everybody wants to know. Okay, but what the hell do I do with all this information? Now, here's the thing that you gotta look for. You always have to look for, if you follow me anywhere, you know I always talk about lower time frame confirmations, and that is what you gotta take. And here's how you take a lower time frame confirmation. First, you want to see price coming down to the discount zone. So you always want price to, you know, for example, if this is the PD area that I'm drawing, I see price pushing up and we're making highs and whatever. I want to get in on the long. This is when it gets interesting as well. Let me tell you something. So when everybody, how many times, please let me know in the chat, how many times did you hear, you know, that don't counter trade and trade with the trend and all that kind of stuff? Did you ever hear that? And if you heard it, like, do you really understand it? Or what's your thought on the whole trade with the trend? I want to see you guys letting me know. So like, yeah, exactly. So the thing is, you have to trade with the trend, and that basically means that you do not want to short an uptrending chart. So what you want to do is you want to wait for discounted price. Again, institutions, you want to buy in discount and sell in premium. So what you want to do here is that you want to, if you see a chart like this, you want to just wait. Trading is waiting, you know? So you want to, someone is writing the trend is your friend. Exactly. So this is the thing, like you have to go with the trend, and going with the trend does mean that if it's in an uptrending chart, you want to wait for the discount price and get in. So this is how you take lower time frame confirmations. Price has to come back down to the discount zone. When you are in the discount zone, you have to look for a reversal, a change of character. We call it MSS, a market structure shift, which basically means if you are in an uptrend and price is coming down, you want to wait for a higher high to form on all time frames. And this is what I mean by all time frames. So when you are, and this is something you can take away as well, you should always look for the following. If you trade on different time frames, you always have to use all the time frames. You have to identify the weekly trend. You have to see where are we heading. On Bitcoin, you know, we are heading to up. It's basically an uptrend in the weekly. Then you go down on the daily. What are we at? Now we possibly in a downtrend on the weekly because on the daily, sorry, because we are, no, on the daily we are in an uptrend. On the 4 hour, we are in a downtrend because we broke the 4 hour lows. And that means that we have started the 50% retracement to the discount zone for institutions to load up, shake out the weekends, and push the price even higher when nobody expects it. So what you got to do is the following. You got to identify the trends on the weekly and the daily. If you identify the trend on the daily and you wait for the discount zone on the daily, you have to take a lower time frame confirmation on the 4 hour. That means a higher high on the 4 hour. I'll show you in a second. But for you to see a higher high on the 4 hour, you have to see a higher high on the 15-minute first. That just makes sense because 15-minute, you know, it adds up to an hour, and then 4 hourly candle adds up to a 4 hour, and so on and so on. So let me just pull this up here. So what you really want to see is you want to see price coming back down to the discount. You want to go into the 15-minute chart, and you want to see a higher high being formed after touching onto the discount zone anywhere. So all the way down here, all the way, you know, price maybe price can even do this, you know, just bleed down to this 24,000 that I said, 24,500 or 25,000, 26,000, whatever that is. But once you see a higher high on the 15-minute, you can, again, possibilities and probabilities. So your thesis will be that we have started the retracement to at least 50%. So when this happens, and there's a lot of liquidity build up on Bitcoin now, so I will definitely look for longs without waiting for the 50% pullback, because usually what you would do is that you would wait for the 50% pullback, get in on here, and then ride it all the way up. I am not going to wait. Once I see a 15-minute market structure shift, a 15-minute high, I am going to get in on the long. Stop loss goes to the bottom of the 15-minute low, and I'm just going to wait for it. And here's what I'm going to do. Trade execution. I am going to pull the Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, and I'm going to be very cautious at the 50%. Why? Because we are, again, at the premium zone. At the premium zone, that means that there are sellers kicking in. So if I will see, again, an MSS, a market structure shift, if I see a confirmation for us to start a continuation down, and this was just a retracement, I will exit my position. So this is basic price action. There is a lot to it, but unfortunately I can't. Oh my God, we're already at 20 minutes and I haven't looked at anything else yet. So this is how you take a lower time frame confirmation, and this is how you get in. So what you have to take away from all this is watch out for Bitcoin going down to the discount zone. Watch out for Bitcoin going down to the discount zone. Once you get the discount zone on Bitcoin, watch out for a lower time frame confirmation, 15-minute higher high. Then try to follow up and see a higher high on the 4 hour as well. And if you've got that, you have a very high chance for starting the reversal to the 33 and 38,000 respectively. If we lose this level, and if we do not see a reversal on a 4 hour high, so if we lose this level here, 28,800-ish region, if we lose this level with a body break below and we come down to the discount and we do not reverse on the 4 hour, expect Bitcoin to go down lower and lower and lower until we see a reversal. So, and that can easily happen, that Bitcoin goes down all the way to I don't think we're going to go down to the 19K, but possibly to 23,000, absolutely in the cards, or yeah, 25, 23. But if Bitcoin comes back down to the discount zone, my guess it will not go deeper than 27,400-ish. Okay, let's look at Banter bubbles. Guys, I know everybody's talking about Banter bubbles, but I want to tell you my take on Banter bubbles. First of all, Josh is a legend for building this. This is going to be, and mark my words, this is going to be a crazy powerful tool in the coming months and years. I'm telling you, in the next bull market, this is going to be incredible. Here's how I would, you know a lot about Banter bubbles. You know all the stuff that you can, do the charts and all that. But what I really want to tell you is that the power of chatting with people, getting to know news, hearing news, and also to share alpha. So you as an influencer can just go in here, post a chart about any coins. Look at all these coins. You can click on all of these every single day and just post your chart in here and say, hey guys, I am live on Banter. Let's chat. So I write it in here and I put my picture and an analysis that I did. We're just going to look at Rune, by the way. And then I can just click on the profile and people can find your Twitter and go on your Twitter. So you as an influencer should definitely leverage this tool, because this can be very powerful and you will be very early. So let's look at Rune, because everybody's interested in Rune. Okay, so I actually was hoping so bad that we're gonna get this entry on the show, and we almost did. It's building up liquidity. We could come back down to the 1.315. I talked to Ryan yesterday. I've been shorting this thing, getting burned, but it is what it is. I think for the competition, I want to give you a little bit of intro here. Again, like Rune pumping, the lending protocol is gonna be live soon, as far as I heard. So again, you want to pull the 50%. You want to look at. By the way, guys, after this, if we have time, we have a little bit more time, I'm going to analyze one of the coins that you comment here. So just go and let me know what coins you want to look at after this, and I'm going to do that. So so you go down on you pull the PD zones, you're going to look down on the 15-minute. You want to see a great entry. Now, this entry here is not in the discount zone, but this coin is driven by fundamentals, and we want to look for great order blocks that took liquidity, fair value gaps created, all this stuff that I can talk about later if we ever do this again. Hopefully we will. Let me know if we should do this again. Let me know, please, in the chat. And also go tag Ren. Just tag him on Twitter. Tell him if this was alpha or not. This is building up liquidity. So potential trade I'm looking at on Rune, coming back down to this region. Again, lower time frame confirmation. Lower time frame confirmation, you got to look for a higher in the 3-minute, 15-minute, whatever that is. And then you can get in, because you can be sure that we see the continuation of this coin. 50% is down here. My other level is about 1.245. Could be a great entry. So this would be one of my entries right here. By the way, I know I'm the only one doing a white background, and I love it. It's a light theme. I don't know why people hate on this. It's just so awesome. It's not that dark, and I also have the blue candles. And the reason is actually there is a psychological reason to it. And that is that, it doesn't impact me to see red and green and all that. So anyway, this would be my second entry if we see a lower time frame confirmation. So around 1.245, short stop loss on the 15-minute. And then a very, very, very strong entry would be at 1.95 with potential stop loss down here, or even under this OB. So something like this, these could play out very well. So about the competition, very shortly, again, you hear about this all the time. I just want to bring a new perspective. I do not like competitions. I'm down 25% of my account, to be very honest with you. And the reason is because you're pressured in, you want to win, you want to be in the leaderboard, and you take high leverage trades and you do DJ stuff. But here's the thing. The reason why it's worth joining this competition, and you can still join, you have like 5 more days, 3 more days, 4 more days. So do it today. The reason is because you do not have to win to win. because the top squad that wins, that has the highest, the top 10 members P&L adds together, and that adds up to the squad P&L. And if your squad that you're a member of wins, you get a share of the winning, the $6 million. So it's definitely worth joining, guys. It's not only for the people who, you make money, you win the competition, but it's also worth joining to the best freaking team in the world, which is Banter Whale Room, obviously. So do that. Let's look at one of the, oh, and also I'll just tell it here. Obviously, 𝗿𝗏𝗕𝗓𝗓, come join Snapper School, guys. Not only for the course, which is awesome, Sheldon, obviously a rock star, not only for the course, and Kai's course is coming, and Annie's course is coming, but also because of the community. I work with community at school. The community is incredible. We have daily AMAs. We have everything that you need there to become a successful and consistently winning trader. You get all the alpha, so come join us. Do this today as well. Okay, so let's look at it. What coins should we look at? Let's look at some coins. Oh, I see all the. Did we see Paula? Did we see any good coins? Let's look at 𝗏𝗏. Somebody's saying 𝗏𝗏. Hey, Luke, awesome seeing you here, brother. Let's look at 𝗏𝗏. Let's do it for the competition, guys. Let's do it for the competition. Okay. So again, like I start on the 4 hour, right? I want to see where we're at. Oh, doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. It doesn't look bad either. Okay, so here's what we're gonna look at. We're gonna look at the daily. We want to see the direction. Right? I have not prepared these, guys. I picked this. Yeah, I picked it from Luke, but we haven't talked for ages. So I want to look at where are we coming back. So we want to look at, we want to look at where are we heading on the weekly. We are coming down. Weekly is weak. This is the high. We are breaking. We created a wick down here, which indicates that we're potentially gonna come lower, or we're just gonna push higher here and then take these highs. Again, probabilities. Let's look at the daily first. Let's look at the daily first. So the daily tells me, look what happens here. What the daily is showing me, we have a high here, and we have the wicks coming out, which could identify this is the high. This is the, oh, sorry about this. This is the daily high here. This is the daily high, and we actually have a body break. Sorry about that. So we have a body break. This is a weak MSS, which means we left liquidity back here, which means we potentially could come down to these levels. Let me mark the point of interest. Could be these levels, would be a very, very nice longing opportunity. Also, if Bitcoin, again, if the DXY pushes through, if Bitcoin comes back down, this will probably dump down here as well, 8% absolutely in the cards. But what you really want to look at, go down on the 4 hour and see where we are at. We're completing a pullback on the 4 hour, and we actually have a higher high here. Look at these, guys. So we see this is the MSS that I'm talking about, the market structure shift, and it is a strong one. So what you can potentially look for is the 50% of this week. Again, guys, I don't have a lot of time to go into everything, but we will take all this later. So potentially a push down to the 50% region on this week, and a potential push up. So I'm expect either we have a potential to start taking highs. Very much look forward for this level, 5.119. This could be a potential reversal zone. So again, go down on a 15 minutes, see a lower low. If that happens, get out of the position if you're already in, or look for it to come back down a little bit, take all this liquidity down here, reverse from one of these levels, look for the lower time frame confirmation, and then move on from there. Awesome. And guys, to the end, we have about 3 minutes. I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Who am I anyway? So my name is Fefe Demini, and I came 2 months ago, just 2 months ago. I've been sitting behind the screens, watching the shows just like you do right now. 1 year ago, I started focusing on trading professionally, like really going full time and really learning everything. Shout out to my mentor, Rain, who's there, who's helping me with everything. He is the man, the legend. And so guys, what I wanted to tell you is that 2 months ago, I have been watching the shows as you are now, and I'm here in Cape Town in the Banter headquarters, and I'm working with school on creating the strongest trading community ever. Now, I've been in crypto since 2016. Did all the stupid shit that you could do. I've been rugged. I lost 7 figures in the last dump. Got rugged on several projects. Focused on trading for a year and got to this level. So this might sound very complicated and something completely crazy, but I just want to tell you that you can do this. And it's not like I really want you to know that you will get lost. Even I get lost. Even Sheldon gets lost. Everybody gets lost at some point. And you will get lost. Trading is gonna expose you. You will have to look into the mirror, and a lot of times you will know where you're heading. You will know your TA. You will, understand everything. And then for some reason it won't work, and you will have a drawdown for weeks, for months, and whatever. And then you get back to it and you stand up. And there is a very famous quote goes, it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. So, you know, I'm getting up, I'm keep moving forward. You should too. You should come to school. I want to give a shout out to everybody at Banter, guys. This is a true family welcoming me in here. Ran, Sheldon, Kyle, and all the team, everybody, Tom, Megs, Ja, you know, everybody. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you want more of this. And what is very important, go to Twitter and tag Ran. If you like this, go and tag him and tell him if you want more of this. He will not like this probably. He will spam his Twitter, but let's do this. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully see you in the next episode. Hey, ciao.